right, part 5. Now we have the most important video and part of your self-defense process. This is examining the collection lawsuit, part 5 of the counter affidavit. So we're filing a counter affidavit when answering any debt collection lawsuit. I'm not giving you advice on how to do your law or your life. Make sure that's part of your answer. Otherwise, it will not serve you to forget to do something that's in some states it's a requirement to have done, especially in Michigan. In Michigan, if you haven't filed a counter affidavit, they can file a motion for summary disposition against you if the case is based upon, as we talked about previously, the account stated statute. So always do it. And it's a good way to tell the court your side of things. And believe me, the collection lawsuit is a wasteland. There's nothing to it. So anything where you're informing and educating the court will appreciate that. So do it, please. It's a must, a do, an imperative, an imperative that you do this. A counter affidavit is a legal document that says your side of the story. It will follow you through the entire process or the litigation process. You get a motion filed against you, Exhibit 1 is the counter affidavit. You've got to file a case against them or a counterclaim, Exhibit 1 is the counter affidavit. If you have enough in that counter affidavit to refute their claims, you've got enough to do a counterclaim. You may want to not go that deep, but it may settle cases. But the counter affidavit is your #1 skill and tool to win and settle these collection cases. Nobody else is doing it except me and you. Join the team. You can do this and swear under oath under penalty of perjury without a notary signing off on it if you do it under 28 U.S.C. 1746. I'll have a template form attached to this video for you to see. I'll put 2 on there. It's a short video, but I'll put 2 on there just to show you, or use a template for your template. Here are 6 reasons why you should use a counter affidavit. Let's put them up there. Shazam. It's the blueprint of the entire case. Your position, your defense, why they failed their burden of proof is in your counter affidavit. It strengthens your defense. There's nothing worse when a client comes to me and they're looking down the barrel of the summary motion and I look at their answer and it says admit, admit, deny, deny with no basis. The other side is salivating. They're just going to crush this poor guy. So you don't need me if you strengthen your defense with a counter affidavit. It allows you to formally show the court your defense and why they did not meet their burden of proof. Challenge the plaintiff's evidence. What do? We use their documents against them. Heard me say that before? All that plonks right into your counter affidavit. It prevents a default judgment. How's it do that, Parker, if I answered? Well, good question, Parker. If you answer a lawsuit in some states where you're going against an account stated statute claim, the failure to do a affidavit countering what they had said in their affidavit is the basis of either finding you in default or, more commonly, winning against you a motion for summary disposition. There are specific statutes in some states that say if they file an affidavit, you've got to file a counter affidavit. In Michigan, it says one step further. If you file a counter affidavit and they don't answer, then they get in default problems and you can do a motion for summary against them. So that's a cool statute, and I'm sure there's many more like it throughout the land. It just heightens the importance of the counter affidavit. Set the stage for discovery. You've let them know where they went wrong, and they rarely will amend their lawsuit to fix what you say. I've seen it once. I've seen it twice in 2 decades. I have never seen them fix their lawsuit. I've actually brought it to the court. I told them this 9 months ago. That piece of crap is still in front of you, Your Honor. So that'll set the stage of the questions you're going to ask. It's already written. The questions you're going to ask are really the issues you've brought up in your counter affidavit. It travels with you, this piece of paper, this document. It's like the U.S. Constitution of you and your defense. You will just blast right through the process with this Exhibit 1 counter affidavit. It sets up your counterclaim, and it even sets up your federal claim. If you want to go after the debt collector, you can show the court at Exhibit 1, here's what they did in the state action. They lost based upon my counter affidavit. Here's their terrible lawsuit. Here's my counter affidavit. Here's my answer. It follows you wherever road you want to take. Please drive the counter affidavit car. Listen to me. So here are the steps to answer a collection lawsuit with the counter affidavit. Draft the affidavit with all their documents. Make the affidavit an exhibit, usually Exhibit 1. It heightens the court's attention to it. File with the court. Always file your affidavit with the court. And when you're filing all the documents, which is really affirmative defenses and the answer and the counter affidavit, make sure you do a proof of service that says, I sent it to the court and I sent it to the other side. Always keep copies of everything for yourself, the things that were filed. Serve the other party with a demand. You've seen me talk many times. I'll go, hey, here's my answer. Here's where you screwed up. Here's my sworn client's affidavit. You want to settle this? Give me a walk away. And then if you have to, you bracket it down to a nice, feasible settlement for you. And then that's up to you how you want to do that. But you're not going anywhere without that counter affidavit. You don't get that choice. So here's my conclusion. 3 tips. Create the counter affidavit by relying on the analysis I just gave you in part 1 through 4. Whether you're dealing with a large debt or a small debt, always file the counter affidavit. It'll make every debt small, or it'll make it disappear. Use their own documents against them. Plunking alert, plunk everything you've got and learned from me that's in your case into that counter affidavit. Attached, I will have for you 2 counter affidavit templates so you can get a good start and handle on how you kill their case. Congrats, good luck.